Hello and welcome to our presentation. The following will feature a wide range of perspective of key views involving the construction of our bridge project, which involves Joey, Rudi and myself. The following presentation will explain a more in-depth review regarding the key concepts of bridge design and how the specific elements in our bridge were used in order to support the weight. The elements that we could use would then be put to a test. Firstly, we began by researching different types of bridge designs and gathering information on some well-known bridges, such as the Sydney Harbour Bridge. After conducting online research on different bridge designs, we focused on the advantages and disadvantages of the different bridge designs. We would discuss with one another on how and why the bridge designs would affect the weight and size of the bridge in relation to how long and difficult it would be to build. After researching and drawing our bridge plans, it was conclusive that we had two concerns. One, how much our bridge would weigh because the maximum weight was 200 grams. Two, how much weight our bridge could hold. Excuse me. By drawing plans, it gave us as a group a better understanding on how a final product will be produced. We focused on by limiting ourselves by using too much spaghetti. We planned out on how many pieces of spaghetti we would use on each member of the bridge, therefore knowing not to exceed on too much spaghetti. The materials were bought at a local shopping centre using the suggested super glue and spaghetti. Our example for a real-life bridge was the Waddle A Truss Bridge. Truss bridges' advantages are that the load is evenly spread throughout the structure. Our focus was to apply that advantage towards our spaghetti bridge. Therefore, as a group, we could decide that our bridge must have an even amount of weight and strength from the deck to support beams, so therefore a weak link will not bring the bridge down. We established that many of the bridges would simply be overweight and wouldn't provide a decent load or weight percentage. Therefore, we decided as a group that we would take the approach of building a bridge with a stable deck and a triangle beam on each side to support it.
In order for us as a group to get an understanding of design, we need to make sure our final product would hold up against the weight and hold more load than the concept design. We came to a conclusion that one of the best credible sources which could ensure that the bridge would be capable of holding the weight is to build a prototype beforehand which is almost identical to the design for the deck for the final bridge. A prototype deck of our selected bridge base was built to test how much strength and materials it would needed to hold at least 15 kilos for security on the day. The deck consisted of two main beams on the edge with horizontal beams throughout the middle with the plate sitting on top. The prototype was left to dry overnight, be tested in the morning with a similar weight system consisting of a lightweight bucket and weights. The bridge was weighed at 196 grams on the day before the test and ticked all the specifications needed to proceed. We assumed the bridge would hold at least 10 kilos of weight and slowly break at the weakest point in the middle of the lower core next to the supporting beams. As the bridge was set out, a temporary plate was added to the middle until the bridge snapped at 13 kilos on the day. We came to the conclusion that the main beams were the main supports to against the weight. The bridge was a success, but we as a group wanted to have a similar design with stronger main frames and thicker beams supported by a truss system for extra strength. The design consisted of two main frames with straight beams situated throughout the centre of the bridge. We assumed that beams would be stronger if they connected with more overall glue used to stick to the surface area of the spaghetti sides.
Upon research that was gathered during the initial investigation, our final bridge had been structured to have a similar layout to the Wattle A truss bridge. The truss was a simple yet effective way of creating stability and assisting with the strength of the bridge as a whole. As a group, we predicted that due to the prototype bridge holding 13 kilograms, that the bridge would hold at least 17 kilos, due to the extra additions to the base of the bridge. During the construction of the bridge, we added small amounts of glue to each of the members one at a time to try and quickly dry and strengthen the bridge in time for the weighing day. When the time came to test the final product, the bridge was loaded up onto the station and the plate was securely placed in the middle of the bridge. The final bridge had more of a surface area to sit on in comparison to the prototype. The final bridge managed to hold 20 kilos of weight before reaching final loading capacity and snapping on the base of the beam on the left side. The bridge exceeded our expectations of holding 17 kilos, managing to hold 3 kilos more than first assumed, with only 10 grams left to spare of the maximum allowed weight. The bridge broke at a point in the center as a whole, before any critical truss members completely snapped, and it is safe to say that without the adding of the members, it perhaps would have not held 20 kilos. With the assistance of the truss helping support the thickness of the main deck, it was conclusive that the bridge remained rigid during the adding of the weights. To summarize the project as a whole, the construction of the bridge gave the whole group a more in-depth knowledge of how bridges are built from start to finish, the design specifications and standards that follow, and how to construct it while still sticking within the regulations of weight and dimensions that were set out. This particular project tested us as a group to experiment, work together, and overall challenge our ability to think and work beyond our expectations.